Hey everyone, welcome into our latest Trade to Black podcast. I'm your host, Shad Dales, and today we're diving into a very important moment that could reshape the future of the federal cannabis landscape. In a recent Senate hearing, Terry Cole, the nominee for administrator of the DEA under the Trump administration, was questioned by lawmakers about how he would handle the ongoing cannabis rescheduling process and whether he would follow scientific recommendations already made by the Department of Health and Human Services. So with that, let's break down what was said and, more importantly, what it all means for the cannabis industry and you, the cannabis investor. So let's first begin. In case you missed it, here's where we stand. Back in October of 2022, the DOJ directed HHS to review the scientific and medical evidence around how cannabis is currently scheduled under the Controlled Substances Act. That triggered what's known as an 8-factor analysis, a legally required scientific review process under Section 811B of federal law. The HHS completed the review and in August of 2023 officially recommended that cannabis be moved from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3, acknowledging it does have accepted medical use and a lower potential for abuse than substances like heroin or LSD. Thank you, it's about time. Then in May of 2024, the DOJ proposed a formal rule to begin that move. So now with Trump appointee Terry Cole potentially taking over the DEA, lawmakers like Senator Cory Booker want clarification. Will Cole follow through with that recommendation or reverse course? Senator Booker pressed Cole directly, asking him, quote, "If confirmed, will you follow the HHS recommendation to reschedule cannabis?" Cole's response? Non-committal. He said he would, quote, "give the matter careful consideration and review the process with DEA personnel before making any decision." Booker also asked, is the DEA even allowed to reject the HHS recommendation? After all, in the 50-plus years of history, the Controlled Substances Act, the DEA has never overruled rescheduling recommendation from the HHS. That's something to remember. Again, Cole didn't give a direct answer. Instead, he deferred, saying he would follow the facts, the law, and consult with internal DEA experts. So, what does this mean? It shows Terry Cole is walking a political tightrope. He's not promising anything, but he's also not opposing the process either. He's keeping options open, possibly to align with the broader Trump platform, while not outright dismissing science. In addition to Booker, California Senator Alex Padilla also drilled into this with some powerful questions. He asked, does Cole believe marijuana has accepted medical use here in the U.S.? Will he commit to completing the rescheduling process in good faith? And how will DEA enforcement practices change under Schedule 3? And perhaps most importantly, will you ensure DEA enforcement does not undermine businesses operating lawfully under state law? Once again, Cole gave the same cautious answer each time. Quote, "I will give the matter careful consideration and consult with DEA personnel." Now, let's be honest here. This is Washington speak. Cole is avoiding any commitment, but he's also signaling opposition. In politics, that can sometimes be a quiet green light, but only time will tell. For investors, the key takeaway is this. 1, the legal process is still intact. The HHS made its Schedule 3 recommendation. The DOJ initiated formal rulemaking. And unless the DEA blocks it, and that's historically never happened, rescheduling moves ahead. And 2, Terry Cole is not disrupting that process yet. His answers suggest caution, not confrontation, but his silence on enforcement priorities leaves uncertainty, especially for operators in legal states. And then 3, Schedule 3 changes everything on paper. It would eliminate 280E tax penalties, open doors to FDA-regulated research, and lower their perceived risk for institutional capital. But if DEA agents continue to enforce laws harshly in legal markets, the benefit of rescheduling could be muted. But we're not seeing that right now. So bringing this all together, where do we go from here? The confirmation of Terry Cole will likely move forward, but the cannabis industry and investors need to watch closely. Will the DEA under Cole move ahead with the final rule? Will enforcement reflect a more science-based posture, or will there be resistance from behind the scenes? These are high-stake questions, especially as we head to the 2026 midterm election cycle, and cannabis reform becomes a talking point once again. So with that, we'll keep tracking it and breaking it down for you. So if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop some comments below. We want to keep this conversation going. Do you believe Terry Cole will follow through on rescheduling, or will politics get in the way? We'd love to get your feedback. And with that, that's it for today. And like I always say, stay open-minded, stay connected, and I'll see you next time on our latest Trade to Black podcast. I'm your host, Shad Dales, and thanks again for watching.